So good morning and welcome to our class this morning. You guys can come and join in a comfortable seated posture. If you'd like to sit cross-legged, you're most welcome to. You can sit up on a block or a cushion against the wall. We're going to close down the eyes right away and allow the breath to start flowing in and out through the nose, unrestricted. Taking long, deep breaths. Actively drawing your awareness back into the physical body through awareness of sensations, through awareness of the way that the breath expresses through the anatomy of the body. And we'll start with a prayer poem from the book Whispers from Eternity by Paramhansa Yogananda. I will be the naughty baby of the Divine Mother. In the hall of life, decorated with mountains, stormy cataracts, and wild scenery, I have played long. Each time, when tired of play, I cried for thee. Thou didst drop down through the skylight of my heart's craving some new doll of fame, friends, or prosperity to quiet me. This time, Divine Mother, I will play the naughty baby. I will sob unceasingly. No more shall the toys of earthly pleasures stop my cries. O Divine Mother, thou must come soon, or I will waken all creation with my cries. I will make all thy sleeping children wake and join me in a chorus of wails. Forsake thy busyness with the housework of thy creation. I demand attention. I demand thee. I no longer want thy playthings. One of the beautiful teachings that Paramhansa Yogananda brought to truth-seeking souls like yourselves is to remember that we are children of the divine and that it is our birthright to experience greater sense of consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and that we can demand that the divine, not through anger, but just as a child would expect its mother to make its meal, to take care of all of its needs, Yogananda taught us that we can also have this relationship with the divine, to ask for that which we need and expect that the divine will respond to us. We're going to start with a chant this morning. I don't know about for everyone on these recordings, but it is a beautiful sunny day today, and this chant is called O Thou Blue Skies. And it's about the hidden nature of the divine, how she's just behind the veil of the blue skies, just behind the darkness of closed eyes. In this chant, we are calling her to reveal herself, to come out and make herself known. O thou blue skies. So as you hear the chant, you can just sit and close the eyes. You can rest your awareness in the center of your heart and see what these words awaken in you. Feel the consciousness behind them. O thou blue skies, under blue cover hast thou hidden my beloved Lord. O thou blue skies, under blue cover hast thou hidden my beloved Lord. Open few moments in the silence that follows the chant to lift your inner awareness, your inner attention up to the point between your two eyebrows, looking up with the physical eyes as though up and off to a great distance beyond the body. Relax all the muscles. Becoming aware of the spine, sitting tall on the central axis of your body, allowing crown of the head to keep reaching taller towards the sky. This is a practice of shifting the foundation of our consciousness. Each posture creates the ideal environment to invoke a particular consciousness. So as you practice today, practice beyond just the level of the physical muscles and the bones, but dive deeper in through the breath to experience how your consciousness, the way you perceive this moment unfolding, is being transformed. Herein lies the great gem of our practice, the deeper practice of yoga asana, to calm the mind and the heart enough that we can perceive through expanded consciousness our own infinite nature. So when you're ready, you can slowly flutter the eyes open, and we'll begin our physical practice this morning. So thank you all for joining in this practice. We're just going to stay in the seat for a few more moments. You can inhale and send your arms reaching up into the sky. And soft fist, just spiral the wrists out nice and wide. Release the arms down. Good. And then inhale, sweep up. Open hand, spiral the wrists all the way out and around. Next time, inhale, you reach all the way up. Lengthen ribs away from the hips. This time, exhale, slightly bend the elbows right down until hands touch the shoulders. And go ahead and start sweeping the elbows around in circles, opening the heart center of the body. And then work your way into raising the shoulders with the sweeping of the elbows. Shoulders come up by ears on inhale, and then down and around. And then reverse the direction. Next time you're down low and sweep. Nice big circles here. Breathing and sending vitality into the shoulder joint. Nice long deep breath here. Good. When you feel a nice flow to release the practice, draw the arms down, up and around. Nice deep breath, reaching into the sky. And we'll exhale, hands right down into the belly region. Last of our seated exploration, we'll rub the palms in front of the belly. And I want you to imagine that this rubbing is activating, it is purifying any stagnant energy in the lower centers of the body. Good. Let's take hands to the belly and just circle around a few times. It's nice to do it, let's see, if your clock was facing down, you can do it clockwise. So if 12 o'clock was at the base of your spine, clockwise, goes with the rhythm of your intestines. Good. And then join the hands back together with a little bit of rubbing, and we'll move up into the heart center. So rubbing here, feeling that anything that no longer serves you, turbulent emotion, desire, or anything other than what is in this moment, place your hands on your heart, same thing. Just do a little rubbing and feel that you're cleansing this beautiful electromagnetic organ of the heart. Good. And we'll center hands up over the head, rubbing here in the space of the crown. And yes, the body gets a little love in these practices. It's challenging to rub the palms for this long. Good. And in this version, you're going to inhale, reach and flip the fingers behind you, press the palms up. Good. Now turn the palms down and bathe the body. Just calming any sense of static in the mind. Feel that you're grounding. You're coming back into the physical body and the peace that lies therein. This one bears repeating once you get down to the ground. Just bring the arms up overhead on inhalation. Bending elbows, and you're in a mountain pose here as well. Just rub here, lots of vigor. Wake the body up. Nice deep breathing. Good. When you're ready, you inhale and press the palms. Shine that energy up, and then turn the palms down and bathe the body. Nice slow bathing. Muscles relaxed, heart is joyful. Right down. Calming any static in the heart. Good. And then we'll take a sealing exhalation. So reach the arms all the way up, and you're going to gather your attention into the palms and gently draw that down the spine. One more time. Freeing the hands when they get to the bottom. Listen for the inhale, then let the arms glide gracefully up into the sky. And you're sealing all your attention back into your spine. Everything is relaxed. We're trusting the movements as they manifest in our body. So you're gathering your awareness central back to the spine. Most often when we feel exhausted, when we feel frazzled, distracted, tired, these are symptoms of our energy being cast out in many, many small little streamlets of attention to so many things. One more time, you're gathering, recalling all of your energies back home to the spine. You can come out of your seat, and we'll take a transition into tabletop position just to begin, and then we're coming to standing. In your tabletop, take fingers nice and wide down onto the earth. Toes tuck underneath. Let's slide the nose low and peel the chest, crown of the head to the sky, arching the spine. And then exhale, you're rounding the back and tucking the chin towards the chest, looking to the belly. So just be gentle. This is the first opening, perhaps, of your spine for the day in this way. And more than you're pressing into either posture is that you are listening for the breath. And when the breath is emptied out on your cat pose, there's extra room for you to relax deeper into the pose. When the body is filled with fresh breath, the spine is extending, crown of the head reaching. Asana or posture practice is never forced. At no time should we be pressing our body into any form, but you're relaxing and breathing. Be patient with your body if it's not quite ready to open to the degree that you're desiring. When it's natural, you come back through a neutral. We'll just open into the hips here. Take knees a little bit wider on either side and start to circle back into the hips. And then tuck your tail underneath when you roll forwards. Spread the sits bones on the way back. Soften the hips, soften the low spine. I like to bow my head, my head in this pose. It's a nice way to really open the back side of the neck. Some things bear repeating over and over and over again. And this point at the base of your skull, top of your spine, is the entry point of prana into the body. You can reverse the circling as you're ready. One of the more important centers of your body. So feel that a sense of grace is breathing into your body, restoring and revitalizing. Free the shoulders and let the shoulders soften a bit here, rolling them in any particular direction that you're ready. And we're going to prepare to come up through into our standing pose. Some of us are comfortable going right into down dog. And we take feet a little wider and just walk our hands back towards our feet. So all paths lead to you at the back of your mat with your head towards the earth. We're going to step our hands up to the thighs here. Inhale with bent knees, lengthen the spine, especially through crown of the head. Long back of the neck, pressing up towards the ceiling, and then exhale and release the head down. Take a few more waves here. Like you're waving a flag in the wind, the head is waving at the top of the spine. Inhale, you lift through back of the neck, squeezing the belly, and then exhale, bow the heart and the throat forwards. Sort of softening in between. Use the hands as support here. You should feel no tension in your low spine, but definitely an activity in the belly on the lift. Good. When you've had enough of this pose, bend the knees and press. Squeeze the belly, squeeze the glutes, and then come right up into standing here. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up into the sky. Just going to do a minor adjustment. Good. Sweep the arms right into the sky. Inhale. Good. Exhale, hands into the heart. Again, let's inhale. Sweep, pushing through soles of the feet as you rise into the sky. Exhaling, hands down through prayer. Inhaling to rise. So we're staying active in the practice this early to keep everything flowing. Inhaling to push off soles of the feet and rise. Good. Exhaling to come down. Beautiful job. We're going to send hands out in front of the body and do an oxygenating breath here. You can slightly bend the knees. We'll double inhale and open the arms, tensing the arms. And then release forward. Again. So you want to squeeze the arms nice and tight until the muscles vibrate. You're drawing fresh energy in. And then as you exhale, relax and feel as the body floods with breath. A couple more. Tense out, relax forward. Last one. Good. You can turn the palms down. Let's take feet a little bit wider. Get centered on your base here. Good. When you're ready, you can draw the hands up the belly this time. Inhale to rise into the heart. Exhale, push the hands out nice and wide. We're going to bend at the elbows and come into Garudasana, our eagle's pose. Does not matter which side you start. Take one elbow on top. Hold the shoulders to begin. Some of us will match backs of the palms. Others of us will wrap the hands around. You can shorten your base if you'd like, and you may take whichever arm is on top. That is the leg that you cross. So you just take a slight bend in the knees, crossing your leg. Relax behind the heart center. The affirmation for eagle pose. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Feel the spine aligned in this posture, breathing calm and steady. When you're ready to unstep out of the pose, foot comes releasing first. Get your foundation stable. You're going to bend the knees and brush off the shoulders. Release that energy and reach up into the sky for refreshing flow of breath into the body, hands into the heart. Let's take one more bend. Inhale and reach to refresh the body. Exhale, this time we'll bathe the hands right down past the head, past the heart. We're going all the way down to the ground, all the way down the legs, till you reach the earth. Inhale, press off the thighs, halfway lifting in your pose. Exhale, folding down, slowly bending the knees and rolling up the spine. Head and arms stay nice and heavy until you return to a neutral asana. Close the eyes and lift the inner gaze back to the point between the two eyebrows. If this is new for you, go ahead and tap on the point between the two eyebrows or rub in a little circle here. So it's not enough to practice these asanas and just let energy begin to awaken without a direction to flow. For most of us, we have a habitual downward flow in our spine, which leads to stress consciousness. By lifting the energy to the point between the two eyebrows, you are dredging up that awareness and reviving it from the depths of the spine back into the heights of superconsciousness. So look up with your gaze when you center your awareness here and relax and feel the whole body. When you're ready, you can flutter the eyes open. Take feet a little bit wider for a steady foundation. We're coming back into our eagle's pose. So inhale and lift the hands up into the heart and broadcast the arms out nice and wide, bending at the elbows. And then you set opposite arm on top. Easiest version is to hold the shoulders. Some of us can match backs of the palms, and others of us can wrap the hands. If you'd like to come into the balance, you step feet a little closer, and then go ahead and step your top arm matching your leg over. So for me, I have right leg crossing because right arm is on top. Nice deep breathing here, holding steady in the belly. Some of us don't need the kickstand. We wrap the leg, and we may even descend deep down into our eagle's pose. It's the yogi's responsibility to know when is enough in the practice. When are we practicing just for the sake of the body? And when are we practicing to feel our consciousness shifting? Let's repeat the affirmation. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Very important to feel your spine as you relax in this pose. Through life's storms, I stand serene. Your spine symbolizes the calm center of your pose as your arms and your legs are wrapped in whirling storms. Relax and breathe. Through life's storms, I stand serene. When you do decide to come out of the pose, feel free to stay a little longer if you'd like. You unstep the bottom leg. Don't be desperate. Let it be gentle and graceful. You're going to brush off the shoulders, bend the knees, and release the arms down, and then rise with inhalation up into the sky. Good. Exhale, hands come down into prayer. Let's do one more round to heal the shoulders. Inhale to reach up. Good. Leave hands above the sky. Come right on the tips of the toes into your palm tree pose for just a moment here. Feel that upward rise in quality of energy. Crown of the head lifting. Good. And all past melt back down to Tadasana or a neutral standing pose. Just melt the hands nice and slow. Close the eyes. If you need to, use the hands and inhale and lift the energy right up the spine, through the navel, through the heart, the throat, back to the point between the two eyebrows, and gaze upward with the eyes and outward. Feeling the affirmation now in super consciousness. Through life's storms, I stand serene. What consciousness would you need to embody for this affirmation to be true? Through life's storms, I stand serene. You can flutter the eyes open as you're ready. And if you're not at the front of your mat, you can take a little walk up to the front. So we're going to hold onto the hips here and take one step back. Is the easy version. 2 steps back takes you a little more advanced, and 3 steps would be your full gait in the pose. Go ahead and take your front hand right into the hip crease and push into the hip crease as you lengthen your front leg. We're coming into triangle pose. So some of us will rest our forearm here and we reach the opposite arm right up to the sky. Now, to get a chest opening a little more dramatic, you begin to lengthen the hand and press off of the inner thigh as you reach up to the sky. And this will create a gentle twist through the body. This is an invigorating posture. The affirmation for triangle pose: energy and joy flood my body cells. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. If anyone can go a little further, you're most welcome to go down towards the ankle. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Nice, calm, steady breath. When you're ready to rise out of the pose, imagine like you're pulling on a rope above the body. Send both arms reaching up into the sky. I like to interlace my fingers and press palms outward up into the sky. And then you just very gently relax, hands back to the hips. We're going to take a slight bend in our front knee. Just take a moment here. This will be our neutral asana to rest. Lift the energy up to the point between the two eyebrows. Eyes can be open or closed in the pose, depending on your degree of balance. Good. We're going to transition into Warrior One. So gentle opening of the eyes. We'll take a longer rest after the sequence. Let your hips point forwards. You can even use your hands as a little indication of what direction your hips are facing. We inhale and sweep the arms up overhead. Very important in any of the warrior postures is to draw up through the inner thigh. So a gathering energy. In this particular one, thighs are coming close together. Pelvic floor is lifting and we're reaching up into the sky. The affirmation: I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. One more time, with great intention and focus at the point between the two eyebrows, looking slightly upward. Activating the superconscious mind, will repeat the affirmation: I attune my will to the source of all power. When you're ready to exit the pose, just let the arms slowly unfold. Big, broad, and beautiful heart. Hands into the hips. And you take as many steps as you need. It can be 1, it can be 2, 3, even 4, until your feet are back in neutral. Release the arms, close the eyes, and lift them up to the point between the two brows, Agya Chakra. Relax every muscle and notice especially the left side of the body. bodily self flooded with energy, joy descending into the body. Good, you can flutter your eyes open as you're ready, and we'll set for the other side. First coming into triangle. So you're stepping left foot back this time, right foot is your front leg. And you just go ahead and take the inside of the thumb and the index finger, and there's a little muscle here called the hip flexor. And if you put a little pressure on there, you can begin to hinge forward a little bit more. Front leg always has a slight bend, so it's not locking behind you, but that you're using the muscles. Some of us can get down to forearm, and we reach the opposite arm up to the sky. This is a great start for your triangle pose. Others of us might be up here, and we use one of our hands as support. If you can release your bottom arm so that your palm, the back side is facing leg, front side, the openness, let the body spiral open, especially the heart. If anyone can go down to ankle, feel free to go down. Nice deep breathing here. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Feel that shift in consciousness. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Open the floodgates of your heart to receive that joy. No longer damming up the free supply of unlimited joy and bliss. Open your heart in this pose. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. This is an invigorating posture. Breathe calmly. When you need to rise, all paths lead back up to standing, but you might stay for a couple more breaths. When you do begin to rise, just take a neutral position. It's nice to interlace fingers, press palms up to release the shoulders. Then exhale, spread the arms nice and wide. Take a slight bend in the front knee and just let the body be neutral. Energy lifting up the spine. Nice deep breath here. Relax every muscle. You're resetting before our next pose. Next pose is Warrior One. So you're bending into your front knee. Your hips are pointing in the direction of your knee, as much as your anatomy will allow. You go ahead and inhale and scoop down from the earth and rise up into the sky to lift that energy up. Good. Right hip is going back, left hip goes forward, and the pelvic floor lifts. Like you're pulling up your belt line here, lifting pelvic floor, and let that energy rise into the solar plexus and the heart, and it just begins to sort of express and bathe out through the arms. I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. Notice where your gaze is. Most of us find our gaze down towards the floor. Look at least to the horizon, and some of us will be able to look up towards the point between the two eyebrows, sort of where the ceiling and the wall begin to meet. One more time with concentration at Agya Chakra. I attune my will to the source of all power. Very calmly, let the hands spread out nice and wide, opening that magnetic field around the body. Take as many steps as you need to rise back to the front, till you're all the way forward once more. Release the palms and just close the eyes. Relax and feel. Like a north-flowing river, the energy is rising up the spine to the point between the two eyebrows. Nice deep breathing here, relaxing. Slowly flutter the eyes as you're ready. We're going to come into the dancer's pose. So you can balance on whichever leg you'd like. Opposite foot goes into the hand. And we start first by matching the knees together. So most of us start here. If you're looking at me, you can see. You want to work your way at least to matching the knees. Your opposite arm will extend up into the sky. Now some of us start to kick into the hand, and as you kick the hand, you may be able to hinge forwards a little bit further. So stay in your pose. We'll repeat the affirmation together. While moving through life, I am anchored in myself. Feel that consciousness as you practice. While moving through life, I am anchored in myself. Try to keep your shoulders square. That means heart is facing forward, not pulling too far back on the shoulder. While moving through life, I am anchored in myself. Couple more breaths here if you can muster to stay. While moving through life, I'm anchored in myself. When you're ready to release down, you just very gently, slowly, gradually, hand and foot release. Come right to the other side to give this left leg a break. So catching left foot in hand this time, opposite arm to the sky. Start by kicking slightly into the hand. Gentle bend of your supportive knee on your supporting leg, and then start to lean forwards. So some of us may be able to kick and come right down almost into a horizontal view. So whatever the body is desiring in the posture. While moving through life, I'm anchored in myself. Nice, slow, consistent breath. Top arm is actively reaching, lengthening in the body. While moving through life, I'm anchored in myself. When you're ready to descend, gradual descension, just releasing calmly here. So we're going to go ahead, before we take our rested pose, take your hands on your hips with slight bend in your knees and arch your low spine here. And do a little circle. The hips stay in one position, but the upper body moves around. You'll feel, especially if you have sensitivity in your low spine, this little invigorating posture is great for opening the low spine, recharging the lower centers. Reverse as you're ready. Good. And then we'll go side to side. So this is an upward lifting kind of energy. Nice deep breathing. A little bit quicker on this one. Good. All right. Then you can release the hands down. You're welcome to take a circle up if you'd like. Again, if you're new to the practice of centering your awareness at the point between your two eyebrows, when we're standing in these neutral asanas, lift the inner gaze back to the brow, like you're looking up and far, far out into the distance. It's like a standing shavasana. Relax every muscle of the body. Gently flutter the eyes open as you see fit. So we are all ideally at the front of our mats, and we're going to take a big step back and come onto the wide stance, so I straddle on the length of our mat here, nice and wide. So you might get to a comfortable position and heel toe a little bit wider. Some of us stay up high, others of us go way, way, way down. Just make sure you have an exit plan. Don't go so far you can't get back. And you're going to turn your feet out here. And this affords us to bend our knees. And we're just going to rock side to side a couple of times here. And as you rock, start to lower the heart closer towards the ground. So you're leaning over, torso going towards either thigh. And then get to a point where you can release the head and the neck. Relax your low spine. If you don't need hands on legs, you can take them to the ground. Good, and then we'll slowly come up, pressing off the knees. You're going to point your feet back parallel to the side of your mat, or facing, parallel to top and bottom of the mat. We're going to press off of the upper thigh. Inhale, lift halfway. So this is the active pose. It's great for strengthening your low back. Squeeze your belly to support. As you're ready to exhale, relax the head down. Release the head. The affirmation, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. When you're ready, you press off the thighs, bend the knees if you need to, squeeze the belly and glutes. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, let it all go. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. One more time in the active phase, and then we'll rest at the bottom. Finding your full breath in here, and then releasing the head towards the ground. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. If your head is rather pointed towards the ground, you can draw little circles with the crown of the head. A great way to invigorate the throat muscles and throat center. And we'll stretch muscles of the face while we're here. So squint the eyes close together, wrinkle the forehead, wiggle the nose, roll the lips. And lastly, open the mouth and stick out the tongue towards the chin on exhale. Alright, when you're ready to exit the pose, we're going to exit by heel-toeing feet closer together. Bend the knees enough that you can touch the ground, and we're going to lower down into child's pose. So just go ahead and crawl your way down till knees are folded and arms are resting out in front of the body. For anyone's child's pose where their hips don't go right over their feet, you can rest on forearms. Nice deep breathing in the neutral asana. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. Relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. Now, gentle as you are, we're going to rise by drawing hands back towards the knees, rolling up the spine, head last part of the body to rise. You can press off of your thighs and come standing up onto the knees. Good, let's just open the side body. You can take one hand to your hip, inhale and reach the other arm up straight overhead, palm facing down. Some of us may be able to go over just a hair. This is a kneeling half moon pose. The affirmation for half moon: strength and courage fill my body cells. For anybody strengthening belly muscles and low spine, release the bottom hand to meet with the top. If you have shoulder sensitivity, elbows can bend, hands can always be in the heart. And you just pretend like you're listening out of a window here with your ear leaning over. Relax the shoulders, whatever version you choose. We'll come back through neutral. Let's drop hands and then inhale and sweep up. Good. Drop the bottom hand if you need it for a little bit of support here. And others of us may sweep both arms together up above the head. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Remember to reach up through the posture. Strength and courage fill my body cells. We'll come through neutral position here. Exhale, we'll take a bow. We're going to come into a hare pose. And then we'll take our neutral asana. Go ahead and curl your toes underneath here. And you're going to release your head. You can watch me first. Release your head and hold your heels. And you're going to pull on your heels and round your back. So your face is going towards your lap. There's no weight pressing on the head. It's just a gentle resting. Knees are close together in this pose. And the affirmation: I am master of my energy. I am master of my body. Feel the consciousness behind the affirmation. I am master of my energy. I am master of my body. If you can stay in the pose for another 3, even 5 breaths, this is a powerful posture. Anytime you're ready to release, come right down into child's pose. Arms extended out nice and long. We want to spend enough time in each of these postures to really get to know the way that they're affecting our consciousness. In this way, we start to discover that some of the postures have a particularly potent effect on us. And these are the postures that are really starting to heal our consciousness and reintegrate. When you're in your child's pose, hearing the affirmation, I am master of my energy. I am master of my body. And when you're ready to rise, slowly draw hands towards the knees. You can press off your thighs as your head begins to release up to the sky. We're coming back into kneeling position for one final posture. So easiest version is to start with palms resting on the top side of your hips, back side of your body. Very important in camel pose is to release your hips a little bit forward, just enough that there's almost like a muscle catch that comes from the belly, right? It feels that our hips are going quite a bit forward. Then we start to strengthen through the front side of the belly, back side of the body, and we can start lifting up, lifting solar plexus, lifting heart. Then you might squeeze the elbows and the shoulders behind the body. And we start by looking just to the point of the horizon, straight in front of the body. Some of us might be able to look a little bit higher. Even if you're advanced in the camel pose, At no point should we be dropping the head back and folding the neck behind the body. If you'd like to try an advanced version, come down and hold onto your heels, and then inhale and lift and rise up into your posture. The affirmation for Ustrasana, camel pose: with calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. Feel the heart opening wide here, drawing the blinds of the heart open to receive the light, the unlimited supply of energy, consciousness, vitality into the body. With calm faith, I open to thy light. There's a point in the posture where it really begins to awaken something. And we want to make sure that we stay in the posture until that point, but that we don't push ourselves to the fatigue point. So when you're ready to come down, you just slowly start by looking down and you release what's happening in the back. We're going to take our feet out and around, and our counter pose is going to be Paschimottanasana, or forward fold. You can reach back and pull the muscle of the glutes out of the way. For most of our bodies, pressing off tips of the fingers and trying to lift your heart over towards your shins is the way to start. Chin is tucked so that the back of the neck is long. We reach through the crown of the head. So you want a beautiful long spine here. Long, deep breath in the pose. Now when you do feel that you're ready to fold forward in our Paschimottanasana posture, you can release, you can keep hands behind you and just release the head. And let the spine round. Some of us can walk hands in front of the hips. If you can reach to your feet without stressing the back, you can hold your big toes with your first two fingers, thumb pressing into the thumbnail. And just fold the body forwards. This posture is wonderfully healing for the nervous system. The affirmation, I am safe, I am sound, all good things come to me. I am safe, I am sound, all good things come to me. If you feel your backside of your knees particularly tense, if you have free hands, just give the knees a little bit of a rub and let the body know that it's safe, that we're not in danger here. We're just relaxing and breathing. For some of us, this posture is amazing. We love it and we want to stay here. Feel free to stay for 5, even 10 breaths in the pose. For anybody particularly challenged that feels that they have reached their saturation point in the pose, you just gently begin to rise up. And we're coming down towards the earth. You can scoot the bottom forward, knees bent, just holding on the back side of the thighs. You can roll your way back and down. Take a moment here just to open the knees, circle the knees open, one hand on each knee, guiding them. If you have very flexible hips, keep the knees held open and rock up and down. We'll come into a twist and a final inversion. When you're ready, extend your right leg out nice and long. Left knee stays in towards the chest, and we're going to roll all the way onto our right side. That means both arms roll. When you get into this posture, Draw the top arm back and spread open wide. If you cannot safely expand the top arm to center it on your heart or your shoulder. Nice deep breathing here. And in our supine twist, the affirmation, I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Allowing the heart to open wide here to receive deep healing. I open to the flow of God's life within me. When you're ready to roll your way to the other side, you just start by folding both arms over into your single direction. And then you can roll back onto your back. Take other knee in towards the chest, extend the opposite leg, and we'll roll over towards the side. So remember, both arms gather over towards the left. Then you can begin to roll open in your shape. Nice deep breathing in the posture to support the transformation of energy. You might imagine a loving hand on the heart and a loving hand over on the right hip, spreading that space a little bit wider, opening the body. I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me, whatever form the divine holds for you. For some of us, the form is unconditional love. I open to the flow of God's life within me. When you're ready, you can exit out of the pose and we'll begin to wander our way into our final inversion. So whatever that might look like for you this morning, for some of us it's a bridge pose where we lift our hips, feet solid on the ground, and we might interlace our fingers. For the others of us, we're sitting on the edge of our hands and we send our feet up towards the sky to breathe and relax. Now, if you're going to come any further, watch me before you enter the pose. You take your elbows into the ground, release your feet overhead, and lift your hips into your hands. This is a supported shoulder stand. Be sure not to look left or right in any inversion pose. So when you do get into the inversion, rest calm and steady. Nice deep breathing. The affirmation for supported shoulder stand: awake my sleeping powers, awake. Awake my sleeping powers, awake. Awake my sleeping powers, awake. Anytime that you need to, you just relax down from the posture by bending the knees in towards the chest. Some of us coming down from our inversion like to flip our feet over our head. This is called plow pose. You're most welcome to enter this pose. The easier version is called tranquility pose, where you hold on to the backs of your legs and you rock your feet over your head. You can always come into happy baby if neither of those postures are available to you. Just take a moment, maybe a minute or so here to begin to wind down in our practice, relaxing towards Shavasana. Shavasana is the final resting posture where we lay on our back on the ground. Our legs are extended long, palms facing up. All of the energy and the attention of your practice draw back to the point between the two eyebrows. As you're approaching Shavasana, it can be helpful to have a blanket draped over the body. Some of us prefer to meditate in a seated posture rather than to lie down, and any of these are acceptable. In any position, the palms are facing up and the energy is being drawn back into the interior. Shavasana is very much a cocoon of transformation, where you are taking all of this abundant consumption of postures, experiences, and energy, this abundance of energy that we have drawn into our bodies, into ourselves. Now we shut down from the outer world of the senses, of the mind, the busyness, and we turn all of our energy into the spine and let it rise up to the point between the two eyebrows, the seat of superconsciousness, of intuitive awareness. We'll have a silent Shavasana and rest for about 5 minutes together. gradually begin to invite the awareness back to the physical body, allowing your attention to rest at the point between the two eyebrows. Remaining completely still in the body. Feel a sense of awakening, revitalization of all the cells. Let that awakening transform into energy, and that energy to fill out into the limbs, the hands, the feet, and arms and legs. Any natural intuitive movements. You can invite little awakenings into the fingers, the toes, reaching arms overhead above the body, resting on the earth. When you're ready, knees in towards the chest. And you can roll off to your side in a natural way. And coming back up to a comfortable seat as you're ready. Let the eyes remain closed, especially in this final aspect of our practice, as it's the awakened consciousness within us that deserves all of our attention. Let's shift all the energy rising up the spine to the point between the two eyebrows. Relax every muscle in the body and just sit comfortably, feeling the effect of the practice. We'll join the hands together in prayer, just rubbing them to gather a little bit of energy, activating. Spread the palms open nice and wide here. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then we'll Om 3 rounds together. Deep breath to begin. Om. Om. Take a deep breath and reach the palms up above the head. Exhale, just bathe the energy around you, the space around you with the palms outward extended. Join them into heart as they reach the bottom of their arc. Gentle bow of the head towards the hands in prayer. We bow to that place that is wise, that is loving, that is always humble, that is always peaceful. We bow to that place within each other by saying Namaste, Namaste. Thank you guys for joining this morning. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Enjoy as you go out into the world. Try to extend the benefits of your practice as you get out there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dave.